I'll be showing you how to build insanely fast in Fortnite so you can win every build fight that you get into. My name is Storm Ranger, and on this channel I show you how to win in Fortnite, get better at it quickly and improve, and all sorts of Fortnite things, so be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on anything, and help me get to my goal of 20,000 subscribers. We are insanely close. That would help us out a ton. Alright, so I'm not going to waste any of your time. If you want to learn how to quickly build, the best way is to practice. Now yes, you probably already knew that, but there are different ways of practicing, and it's important that you follow the most effective ways. But before you even jump into a game, it is vital that you have the right keybinds, or for console, controller setup, or for mobile, button layout. For the sake of simplicity, we will use the same term, keybinds, for all three of these setups. And this is everything. Building fast comes from having fast hands, and to have fast hands, you must be able to quickly access the core functions of building when playing. It is essential that you have a setup to quickly access your weapons and build when playing that you are comfortable with. The last thing that you want to do is spend hours upon hours upon hours of practicing, only to realize that your keybinds don't allow you to access vital functions while playing. Now in terms of what keybinds you should use, I am not entirely sure, simply because each person is different. Personally, I am left-handed, therefore what works for me might not work for you. But in case you guys are curious, here are what all my keybinds are. I got them from a Cypher PK video about a year and a half ago. What I recommend you do is to do a search on Google, or more specifically, YouTube, to find what appears to be the best keybinds, and then apply them to your game, begin to practice with them, and adjust them as you see fit. And of course, if after a few minutes you don't feel you can work with those keybinds, you can just go ahead and grab different keybinds from a different source. Now, if you're on controller, you may have the ability to use preset keybinds, and if you do, I highly recommend that you use the Builder Pro layout and make sure that you have the Build Immediately feature on, making it so you only need to click once to build a structure. Also, do know, when playing various products may give you an advantage. For example, I own a Razer Trinity, which comes with the options of having 2, 8, or 12 keybinds on my mouse. I only use the 2 keybinds, but those extra keybinds allow me to easily and quickly switch between my ramps and my roofs while building, without needing to move any of my fingers very far. Now obviously, there are other accessories like this for controllers and even mobile players. However, I haven't tried them out myself, so I can't speak for if they work well or not. But nonetheless, I'll throw some products that seem useful down in my Amazon affiliate shop, which you can head to by clicking the link down in the description. Okay, so now that you have your keybinds ready, you're almost ready to start practicing. But there is one more thing that you need to change first, and that is your sensitivity. Now, finding the right sensitivity is again a complicated process, since everyone prefers something different, and at least on PC, the DPI or sensitivity of everyone's mouse, along with possibly other settings, is different. Therefore, there isn't one universal scale of sensitivity. As for console and mobile, again I would give you suggestions, but I don't plan those devices often, and I don't want to give you all just some number that I found off of Google, so this is another thing you will want to research and figure out for yourself through practice and playing a game. Ideally, you'll want a sensitivity that allows you to quickly turn around while still being able to hit your shots. I recall around a year and a half ago, when I used to play on console, I played on the default sensitivity. However, when I eventually raised it, I found my skill dramatically improve. So, always be experimenting with your sensitivity to make sure it's at the best level for you. Well, personally, I have to be honest, I am not the biggest fan of perfecting building speed in creative and seeing how fast you can build 90s or something similar. And this is because a countless amount of times in Fortnite, I'll be fighting against someone who is so focused on outbuilding me that they never will attempt to hit me, and I end up on winning the fight because of it. And then after the fight, I'll inevitably get third-partied because of how big and long the fight was. Now, you do not want to be that player. While high ground is important in a fight, it is not as important as actually hitting your opponent, which can easily be done while having the low ground. Now obviously there is nothing wrong with practice, however don't go out of your way to use unnecessarily fancy building procedures in a game. Most fights can and need to be carried out in a timely, material efficient manner, simply because unlike in creative, time and materials are limited resources. But despite that, there will inevitably be players who the only way of defeating is through a build fight, so we will get into that now. Now to begin, you're going to want to jump into a creative world where there is plenty of space to build and an endless amount of materials and time to do so. From here, you're going to want to practice various building procedures. Now, while knowing what to build is important, it is not everything, and unfortunately, you do not have enough time to go into the specifics of what you should build while playing. So what I recommend doing is after watching this video, look for another video going over what the best structures are to build while playing, and then practice and memorize 5 to 10 of those structures through your creative island. Of course, 5 to 10 structures is only a start, and you should always strive to learn more structures to use while playing. Now once you've done this, you should be ready to practice against real opponents. However, by no means do I recommend you just head into a game of solos, duos, or squads, simply because these game modes are very slow, and you'll find that the majority of your time will be spent looking for weapons or harvesting materials. Instead, you should either head into a game of Team Rumble or creative game mode with your friends or with random people. However, whatever you do, just make sure that what you are doing is centered around building. One amazing way to improve is through 1v1s, especially against players who are better than you, as you can learn from them and will be forced to challenge yourself to defeat them. And if you do need people to play with, because all of your friends quit playing Fortnite ages ago, at least that's what happened to me, feel free to make friends down in the comments below, and like I always do, I'll be hearting all the comments that I see of those who are looking for friends to play with. Alright, so once you feel you have improved at your building skills, you'll be ready to jump into a regular game. However, we are still not done yet. When you are playing, you inevitably die. I recommend taking notes on how and why you died. What mistake did you make that costed you the game? Was it building related? Hypothetically speaking, if every time you made a mistake while building, whether it cost you the game or not, if you were to learn from it, you could decrease the amount of mistakes you make while playing tremendously. And for mistakes that you repeatedly make and struggle to learn how to avoid, I recommend figuring out ways to quickly correct that mistake. For example, if while building 90s, you keep on accidentally trapping yourself under one of your staircases, practice correcting this, and find ways to untrap yourself in short amount of time, so next time you make that mistake in a fight, it won't cost you the game. But as long as you are learning from your mistakes, you cannot go wrong, and as long as you continue practicing and learning different builds, you will improve an incredible amount at building in Fortnite. If you enjoyed this video, want to learn how to win in Fortnite, get better at it quickly, and improve at also the fun-related things, you can start now with subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss out on anything, and help us get to 20,000 subscribers. Once again, we are insanely close by clicking here. And to support me, you can use code StormRanger and buy my merchandise by clicking here. Finally, click Discord right here to learn how to win often in Fortnite. But that is all I have for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.